Mr. Bwala, on this one, it does bring to mind some big question, isn't it? That there was there is going to be an investigation by a three-man panel to be headed by the vice president. But in other crimes, would such a body or such people be investigating a matter, or will have a prosecutorial body to do this kind of job? What do you think happens in other crimes?
Well, if it is in America, for example, the Justice Department and probably the FBI will be actively involved in this process. And the Justice Department is like the Federal Ministry of Justice, of course, the Office of the Attorney General. And then the FBI, even though there is no direct link, but we can say since EFCC is involved largely in investigation and prosecution, we can, in the circumstance, classify them in that realm as the FBI. Now, there is no need to overlabel the issue of the celebration the Nigerians have for this bold step the president has taken. However, as far as the issue of the committee and the investigation is concerned, I have a slight problem. I can understand that the president decided that the National Security Advisor, the Attorney General, together with the vice president to have that committee. I can understand the dimension, maybe because the DGNIA relates, of course, to national security, so therefore the need to have the National Security Advisor. And then the Secretary to the Government of the Federation relates to corruption, of course. They look at the Office of the Attorney General that spearheads, investigation and prosecution in the country. Now, but because the Office of the Attorney General had been involved in investigating this matter before, for which he has given his report, it will not be nice, it will not be necessary, and there is every tendency that the outcome may not be palatable because he has been involved and he has cleared him. Now, people have used the word cleared. I do not think he actually cleared him. He merely said the Senate did not give him a fair hearing. But for the fact that he did not refer the matter to EFCC, for the fact that he did not recommend that the SGF be asked to step aside for further investigation, there is not likely to be a case where we will expect something different at this moment, without prejudice to the fact that the vice president is going to head that committee.
First and foremost,
in the normal situation, having the regard to the circumstances of the case.
If I may quickly butt in, Mr. Bwala, so we pick this up. He says something legally wrong here from what the president has done. For example, if he's in other parts of the arms of government, say in the Senate or in the judiciary, would there have been a committee like this, or would it have been sent for prosecution, or these kind of people would have been handed over to the police or to any other prosecutorial body, for example?
In my opinion, that decision by the president to rather refer him to a committee than to hand him over to the law enforcement agency is not legal, it's not morally right. Whether you look at it from the moral point of view, it is only necessary that he be referred, like every other Nigerian who is alleged to have been involved in corruption is referred to the relevant agencies. And whether you're looking at it legally, because legally, the established body that should investigate and prosecute are the law enforcement agencies of the government, the Office of the Attorney General, and then constitutionally, the Senate also, through their congressional committee, have powers to investigate. And in this case, there has been an investigation, even though the report submitted is a preliminary report. But that report, in my opinion, is a prima facie proof that this matter should be forthwith referred to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, because it is an allegation of crime. It is not just misconduct administratively. So the proper thing to do at this point is not to set up a committee, but to refer the matter to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to further investigate the matter. And if crime is inferred, then he can be, prosecuted.
Let me allow Mr. Talk here to weigh in now. Some people, you've seen a lot of comments. Some are saying that, look, it's just a means of a cover-up to give the man a soft landing in this. Do you see that happening in this case?
Let me say this with every sense of responsibility. Mr. President has to make very, very, very tough decisions as to what he wants the image of his person to be before the Nigerian people. It's an extremely important call he's got to make. A time comes in the life of a man when you have certain defining situations and circumstances, and Mr. President has his future tied to what he wants to be remembered for. Whether he wants to be nice to friends or he wants to be seen as that nationalist that brought a new agenda, a new direction to Nigeria. If he chooses the latter, he has to behave like that lady of law who has her eyes tied and make sure that that statement he made at the beginning. You see, two presidents have made certain statements that were extremely important, and we let it drop. The first president that made a statement that was very fundamental was Chief Obasanjo. He said, when he came, he said, it will not be business as usual. We let it drop, and he ended not on that note. When our president came in, President Buhari, he said, I belong to all, I belong to none. Nobody. He should revisit that statement and think about it and sleep over it. Okay. It will be a defining statement in his administration.